Dr. Wiggins, and welcome to our post-9 discussion. I'm Emma.
Hey Lisa, you probably already know this.
I'm Molly.
And Mackenzie. Our names have not changed.
So, one of the, my first thing from Freeman and Freeman, and I know somebody else's, was about the threshold hypothesis.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of confused about that, but then, so who explained it? Was that
me.
that you?
Yeah.
Yeah, some of your explanations helped me. Where is it?
The threshold hypothesis helps to explain the conditions under which transfer takes place and provides cognitive benefits for emergent bilinguals. And if I'm not mistaken, it was like there were 3 different levels that you could like function at or understand at. I think
there was the one that was like you have a little bit in both languages.
Yeah, and then average in one, and then
Here.
and then high academic proficiency in both languages. So it was like low in both, average in one, and high in another. And each of them have different effects. So the first level can have negative effects on a person, and then the second level can have like neither positive nor negative, and then the last one has positive effects. I forgot that section of it because
My question was like, how would you apply it to, so how would you utilize Cummins threshold to develop services for different types of students? So I didn't really understand how to like answer my question, except for just like what strategies to use. Is that what you guys think my questions mean? Or I just said that to like scaffold and use, multiple modes of learning and just being aware that there's those 3 different levels.
yeah, and I think like knowing which level each of your students is at, so that you can then like be like, okay, you have like you're really high in one language, but you like don't know much in another, so like use that background to then like push up that other language.
Mm-hmm.
And I think did we all read about the iceberg hypothesis, or is that just me? Cummins' dual theory of iceberg
I feel like that was just you because
That's from my
that was on the
Wikis page.
PowerPoint.
Yeah. But what it was like saying was that, so you have 2 icebergs and you have like your L1 and your L2, and then you have like everything underneath, all those things that you can't see, and so you only see like what is on the surface of the L1 and the L2. But what we don't see is that a lot of the times when they're like all right in both languages, they can actually like, they're transferring knowledge. So like say they are really good at Spanish but they don't know much English, they can use that Spanish academic vocabulary to push it to the like help support their English learning, and so they can like use that to help that. And so
I think it's easier once you already know a concept and the word for that to like give another word to the same concept.
right, instead of having to like learn all of it in this language that you don't understand.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Yeah.
guess that kind of tells us as teachers that we already know to support L1
Mm-hmm.
as much as possible, because the concepts that they learn in that will transfer to English.
Mm-hmm. That's like what Elisa and I were talking about in our like early childhood presentation, was just like all of the myths about why parents don't want to like continue their like kids in learning their like language. So like they'll only speak to them in Spanish or in like English, or they will put them in like all English like speaking things, and they won't like talk to them in the other language. But it's so helpful for early childhood kids to get that like support in their native language, because it will make it easier for them to learn
Mm-hmm.
English or whatever they're learning
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
I was also talking about a lot about the misrepresenting ELL students in special education programs, because a lot of the times teachers will see like the student will be able to like talk well or like speak well in like social settings, and so like it doesn't look like they have any like deficits, but then like they can't do the academic portion of it, and so they're like, oh well, they must be, and it's like they must need special education because they don't understand this, so their brain's like not understanding that subject right. And I thought that was really interesting because I can see how that would be like confusing for teachers. But
I have a little girl right now in one of my service learning classes who covers up her English ability by saying thing all the time, and she'll say, oh, the thing and the thing, and I think no one else really notices that she doesn't know the words for these things she's trying to talk about. She just says thing. And so it might seem that she's completely proficient, whereas she's obviously doesn't have the vocabulary to express what she wants to talk about.
interesting.
Yeah. And she's not receiving ELL services.
Oh, because she can like cover it up.
I don't know. I want to find out more about that, but she's obviously slipping through the cracks.
Huh. Yeah, I thought that was interesting because it's like, how do you don't want to like not give students the services. Like if they need special education, like we obviously want to be giving that to a student, but we also don't want to be putting ELL students into special education who just need more English. Like
Yeah.
special education isn't going to help with that.
See, that's what I thought it would be kind of the opposite. Like, where as a teacher, I would just think, like, oh, the reason they're struggling is because of the language barrier. And so I feel like I would under-refer ELL students because I would just blame it on the language. So I don't know. I feel like that's better than the other way around. So I don't understand how students like get referred to special ed, and then whoever's doing the special ed teachers or whoever is doing the assessment isn't like, yeah, this kid is not.
Well, I think it's like hard because they don't know what to do, like how to actually like tap into that knowledge if they can't like say it. And then I think I read something about how like it's easier for teachers to be like, oh, they need special education help
Just
because
like, get it off your mind.
yeah, like oh, I don't like it's easier to just say like they need special education than to
Yeah.
not function like
Find resources for
find resources for that student in their classrooms and like kind of reformat your like what you teach.
Another thing that was in our special ed presentation yesterday was that even if you give a special ed test to a student in their home language, the concepts are still American and based on English. So they might, like Louisa was saying that there's like 10 words for a kite in all these different dialects, and if they're like a picture of a house and a kite and they have to label things, even in their home language, they might not know which one to use or use the one that the person expects them to use.
Yeah, if they have somebody if they have a Spanish interpreter who's from Mexico or from Spain, but yet the student is from Guatemala or whatever, you know, so it's,
Right, thought about that.
there's even that facet to it.
Regional
Is that a word?
differences.
Facet?
Yeah.
That is a word.
It doesn't sound like a word. I need another coffee.
Like a facet on a cut stone.
One of the things that I liked about this was, so one of mine was, what are the characteristics of academic language? And a couple of them were cognates or cognates, I kind of say it both ways. And then word consciousness. So again, just like the awareness, and then word learning strategies too. So if you can like, help your students see like, sometimes you can just guess words, you know, or and then
picture clues and stuff.
yeah, and then just being aware that the word consciousness is pointing out similarities and differences across language, showing them what false cognates are, and model that you're learning new words all the time too, just so that they're like interested in it, you know. so we're going to Mexico. Emma and I are going to Mexico.
That's so
this summer.
exciting.
And so we had on Wednesday night, Dr. Green
Yeah.
did this really interesting, it was really cool. She did like, pretended that we were SLLs.
Yeah.
Because she speaks Swedish, and so
Oh.
she just started teaching to us or just started speaking to us in Swedish and gave us a lesson, and then she gave us a worksheet, and it was kind of funny because she's like, and it was all in Swedish, of course, and
Yeah.
and she's like, well, I gave you guys a word list or like a key terms list on the back, you know, there's pictures, like that's like,
All
don't
you
you see?
need.
Yeah, but of course, like the definitions are all in Swedish, and
Mhm.
so it was a really cool thing to see, like, to see what we're expecting kids to do, you know, like just because we give them a list of words in English with English definitions, like
That's not always enough.
yeah, exactly. So what I found most helpful was when she did repetition. Because I think by like the 5th time she like pointed to a sentence structure and pointed over here and kept saying and but. I'm like, okay,